What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Barefoot Garage. And the big news, we are moving to a new shop. So we got a much bigger place and a lot more room to work. So we're gonna have projects coming. We're gonna have some build on the new shop coming. So I'm leaving some pegboard and some cabinets for the next person and the lighting. Other than that, everything we've got is loaded up and we're headed to the new shop now. All right, guys, as you saw, closing the old shop, and it's time to move to a new place. So I lived in an older part of town, smaller houses, smaller yards, smaller garages, and what I was working with before was basically 19 by 19, like your average 2-car garage. And it was in bad shape when I got there. It needed a full rewire, it needed structural work, it needed truss work, it needed lighting, it needed air compressor hooked up, it needed everything. It was totally empty. So over time, we've been looking for a bigger place, and we found an awesome house for the family, and it has a detached workshop. And from what I can tell, the guy before me, or two people before me or whatever, did woodworking. So let's go on a tour of our new shop. All right, we're at the new shop. It's night, like always. Let's go in. So we got a little bit of stuff left over, but the best thing is, it is big. So this shop is give or take 20 by 50. So it's almost 1,100 square feet. And so we have this side, which is essentially a 2-car door plus, another 10 feet over on this side. The best part though, is we've got an area to be messy and work, and we've got an area, come through here, and we can store some cars. So 1-car door over here, but there's definitely room for 2 cars this way and maybe 3 cars this way, if this wall ends up coming down. So we'll go back to the front and start our little tour here. I'll show you what's here. I have a lot of new stuff coming, so you guys are gonna start getting videos on both what the projects I'm working on, but garage and workshop updates. So I really want to make this a functional space so I can work on my cars, my friends' cars, whatever project comes along the way. I want to be equipped to do it. So I'm going to take some time now to kind of undo some of the things the previous person did, redo some of it. And so I'll talk about that a little bit here and see if we can give you guys an overview. All right, so I'm standing in the 2-car door. My driveway goes by out that way. And so I've got a paved concrete entrance into the 2-car and into the 1-car. So for some perspective here, this is really what we're working with. And really primarily this side of the garage is gonna be where the real work gets done. Work on cars, work on motorcycles, boats, whatever's coming up. So some metal shelving that got left over. Eventually all the storage is going to move that way into the other side, with that being kind of the clean side. A car that's clean, a car that's done, something in storage, something I haven't worked on yet. So it's going to stay over there. Eventually this wall may come down and we'll put up like a body shop curtain so that if I needed to put something long in, you could come in the door from this way and aim it that way. It is not deep enough for my Super Duty, so if I ever need to work on that, which I will, because there's the brakes for it, eventually it'd be nice to be able to do it in that direction. Or if I wanted to bring cars in and park them 1, 2, 3 like that, close it, and then make a mess over here on the naughty truck or whatever we're doing. So got a little bit of shelving there. Fortunately or unfortunately, all of this side is drywalled, and I think all of this is gonna have to come out. There are some kind of like old school fluorescent lights up here, an old hose reel, just a bunch of debris and trash and whatever. It does have a decent door, but no opener, which is fine. I've never had an opener on the doors before. As we come around to this side, you can see some like workbench stuff that he left. There's my workbench, which actually works perfectly in that spot. Whatever this is, gonna be trash. This is his workbench, and for now I'm gonna use that, and it kind of was a basis for my plan. So I'll kind of back up here and talk you guys through what's gonna happen. So starting along here, we're gonna do a workbench about 14 feet and about 2 feet out, or whatever it is to where I can open the door horizontally. From the workbench up, I have 14 feet of 2-foot high metal pegboard, that box that's gonna go across. And then above that, there will be 6 of the Gladiator garage cabinets, which is what I had in my last place. So the goal is to put like some of these tools and things up and away, and fluids and all the stuff you see out on the open shelves, the things that we're gonna need regularly are gonna kind of go up here. So I have the cabinets on order, some are back ordered. It's gonna be a while before that stuff comes. So at some point, I'll tear this out and we'll start working over here, but really it means all this drywall's gotta come down. The best part about the new shop, and I mean the best part, it is air conditioned. completely air conditioned. There's no heat, but who cares? So we are going to be able to work in here with the door shut and not die. So what's probably going to happen in this corner is we're going to put up just a wall here and a wall here, keep that air conditioner clean, and eventually we may make this into a bathroom or I don't know, whatever, something like that. So probably going to have a small little room here, so we'll have workbench down, pegboard cabinets, and then we'll have a wall here that may be like tool wall or dry erase board or whatever else we want to put kind of right there, so we can kind of protect that unit and create a little bit of a space here for hopefully having a bathroom. And we may move that sink in there. It does have an inside sink. It is on well water. The well pump down there in the corner right there does not work, but we can figure that out. So the biggest thing that I want to be working on is, you can see he's got a decent amount of service out here. Looks like he's got 250 amps out to the garage, but really most of this needs a rewire. And so that's probably the reason all this drywall is coming out, because there's like 3 outlets on this wall, 1 on the back wall, and 1 over there, and there's none in the other side. Like I had to run an extension cord from this room into that room to charge the Porsche battery. So definitely something that's gonna happen pretty soon here. But the goal will be, we're gonna go ahead and pick some lights. Probably gonna go with the Harbor Freight 10,000 lumen units. And we're gonna light this side up as much as we can, so that as I'm working, we can see what we're doing. We can make sure that this is gonna work for us. So currently no floor coating or anything, but maybe in the long term, we'll do something like that. So the goal being workbench, tools, tool storage, with the ability to put my work carts and tool carts up underneath, so I can slide all that stuff in out of the way. So if you had to park a car here, hurricane, whatever's going on, you could do that. You could pull a car in on this side, have a car in the middle, and have a car on the far side. It is only about 8.5, 9 feet on the lift height. So we have looked at some low-rise stuff, the like quick jack portable thing. I've also looked at something that has a lower column height, like a 9-foot height, that I could just poke into the rafters, because eventually, I don't know that I'm going to put a ceiling in it, but if we think about kind of maybe over here, we can put a 2-post in with the post coming up, so you could pull a car in, up, service it, and you could still go past it this way once this wall is out of here. So a lot of cool stuff coming. The other thing that's going to happen in this side is the goal is to have a metal fab area, so that that back wall will have the drill press, it'll have the chop saw, eventually we'll have a belt sander, we'll have the grinder, we'll have a probably put the vise back there, maybe a fixturing table or a fab table, but this would be the goal. This would be all the metal work. Do a metal rack up there, have the welder over here, have outlets for both my current 110 welder and any future welder or plasma cutters. But this is going to be the metal work area of the garage right here, so we could push the cars out, seal off that side, and do whatever we need to do to make a mess right here under the good light. So the only bad part about that is the air system is right above that, so we may have to figure out how to make sure that it doesn't just clog up with welding dust. So let's go take a look at the storage side, and I say side because for now, this was the existing exterior wall, and that was an addition. So we've got to do some work to figure out how to structurally get rid of this, but not collapse the garage. So right now you can just see my garage has vomited everything I own. There's probably stuff you guys have never seen here that's just on the shelves waiting for its new home. Air conditioner for the 914, cool old steering wheel, just scrap steel, the world's best jack stands. You know, got both bikes here, got my tire machine, got my TourTech panniers, but over here is going to be primarily storage. So this side, I don't know the dimensions off the top of my head, but it's the same width. It's 20 feet deep or whatever, and it's probably 25 or so feet wide. So the goal over here is to make this long-term or storage for cars, so that I could come out of my house, open the garage door, and roll a car out that I wanted to drive, that was clean, ready to go, whatever it is. Or I could have the naughty truck in here in the off season, or I could have the 411 here until it's its turn, whatever it is. So right now you can just see it's bare studs, which is totally my preference because it's easier to run wires, it's easier to run air conditioning or run big compressed air lines, which I'm gonna probably do in walls. So for now it's just stuff. I have pallet racks gonna go across the back wall here. We'll probably do some kind of cord and storage system over here for like yard equipment, ladders, just other garage kind of junk. He left some other things behind, like that giant Rubbermaid cart and some shelving and whatever that thing is. So we'll get that stuff out of here. But for now, This is just the Porsche's tomb. The Porsche is having, still having muffler problems, and I've got a shift bushing bad, so it's just kind of parked for right now. You can see I've got my compressor just rolling around over there and other just stuff. So the difference here being that everything I own you will see, whereas in the other garage I had an attic upstairs that held almost as much as the downstairs garage. The only other thing that we've got is outside of this wall, there's a fenced in area where we can put some outside stuff, trailers, whatnot. And I think I'm gonna punch through that wall and put my compressor out there under the little cover. And then we'll probably run compressed air lines all across the back, one run out to the front of the garage, and maybe one run over to the workbench, and a couple there where the like a plasma cutter or something would be in this metal fab area back behind me. So that's what's going on. That's why you haven't seen a lot of wrenching videos. We've been in this process since before Halloween. I'm here now, I'm getting settled, and we're gonna get back to working on cars. All right, so a couple other quick updates. We'll do a quick rundown on all the projects just so you guys can know. People ask all the time, what about this? What about this? What about that? So Porsche 914, still running well, still has some issues with cold start that I've got to sort out, but basically it runs and drives fine. I've had problems with the mufflers. The Super Trap mufflers don't want to stay, and the welds broke on one of them. I've also got a thrash shift bushing. So I've got upgrades for the shifter that are here. I just have to have time to put them on. I don't know what happened with the muffler system. I'm not ready to invest a bunch of money into that, considering we may do some different things with the exhaust or the induction of the car in the future, but that's where the Porsche 914 is. The VW411 is on my trailer at a friend's house, and it has been there parked since Halloween, basically. Once we knew we were moving, we had to get that thing out of there. It is coming back. We've got seals for the front and rear windshield. We've got a headliner for it. We have a plan to do some like blanket style seat covers. I've got metal for the floor. We've got a rebuild kits for the calipers. I've got a carburetor kit for the carburetor, or for the engine. And so we're gonna be putting that thing back together. Actually, in the other room over there is the brand new painted wheels and tires to go on the 411. So hopefully see the 411 back after the first of the year. The TC100 is here, and it does run. It needs some carburetor tuning. I've been running it a little bit, but it's got kind of a bad bog, and it is really not ready to go 100%. So I can ride around with the choke on a little bit, but it's not quite right. So I need a little more tuning on that, but it is pretty much finished and good to go. The Beta has got its long-range kit on it. I'm not sure if this is gonna be long-term or not. It's kind of a pig to start, and I don't think the plating it is gonna work out the way that I thought it would. So we've covered bikes. Here's my little O-set. Just needed to charge up, put new batteries in this pretty recently, but it's a fun little toy. And so other than that, that really only leaves the Naughty Truck. So the Naughty Truck is coming back to my place into the shop in probably January or late December, with the goal of going to the 2022 Florida Gambler. So the goal has always been to run this in the Gambler a couple times, and then maybe the Naughty Truck gets to come home with one of you guys. So we're gonna be bringing the Naughty Truck home. I have a shelf over there already dedicated to new parts. There's like 5 parts over there. There's air cleaner, carb spacer, gaskets, filter, overflow tank, stuff like that for the Naughty Truck that's ready to rock. So I've just been kind of collecting those parts as we go. In addition to that, I've got brake job to do on the X5. I've got a brake job to do on the Super Duty. We got a light upgrade coming for the Super Duty, not here yet. And a couple other just small things, just maintenance and things that need to happen on the Super Duty. So that's what's going on. Forgot the 944. The 944 that you've seen maybe on my Instagram page or comes on the posts that we got for like 600 bucks, belongs to a friend of mine. It spat out a bolt into the cam box, and so that's going to be coming pretty soon for us to pull the cam box off and actually change it. We're going to change cam box, but you got to pull the starter, lock the flywheel, pull the timing belt, do all that mess. But at the same time, it's going to get conies, it's going to get stainless brake lines, it's going to get brakes and rotors, it's going to get all these things, so it's ready to go and ready to drive. So I think I've covered all the projects. If I missed one that you love or you want to know about, please let me know. And as we go through this process, you'll probably get some garage videos, and you'll probably get some wrenching videos. So let me know what you think about setting up the garage or how you set up your shop. As always, you can stay tuned to the Barefoot Garage between episodes at Barefoot Garage Jacks over on Instagram, and we'll see you guys in the garage.